Rapper Lil Durk was reportedly involved in an altercation with another inmate earlier this morning at the LA County Jail. According to emerging reports, the incident took place inside his cell block, though details about his current health condition have not been made public. In light of the situation, a possible transfer to another facility is being considered. The news prompted Kanye West to personally call and check on Durk while he remains in custody.
Yeah, man, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Just taking it day at a time. Just chilling and being focused for real.
Yeah, I love the time we spent in Saudi, man. That was great.
Look, that's all I'm talking about here. The people here, they get their time, so they ain't never experienced the world. So I be telling them stories. They be on 20.
Wow. Yeah, man. I just got off the phone with Puff. I talked to him for the first time 5 minutes ago. 5 minutes ago, he called me. Yeah.
Rumors quickly began circulating online, suggesting that Quando Rondo may have been behind the altercation, especially after both Quando and Lil Tim released separate interviews on the same day, with much of the focus centered on Lil Durk. His interview, Lil Tim claimed that Durk essentially got himself indicted over a feud that both he and Quando had been trying to put to rest.
I was just protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying like that, because I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like they ain't never popped that shit off. That shit never happened like that.
Quando Rondo echoed similar sentiments in his interview, primarily criticizing Lil Durk for neglecting his responsibilities and turning his back on the people who depended on him. He implied that Durk's actions not only escalated the feud, but also caused him to lose focus on taking care of his loved ones.
Whoever on my side, they got kids and the mama that 100% know them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this book that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out, or whatever, like they could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
But things take an even stranger turn when considering the lyrics the feds are reportedly using against Lil Durk in the case. The specific line, "Look on the news and see your son," you screaming, "No, no," has drawn attention because it eerily mirrors Quando Rondo's emotional reaction at the scene of Lil Pab's death, where he was visibly distraught and screaming in a similar manner.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
However, Lil Durk's legal team insists the connection is purely coincidental, arguing that the lyrics in question simply mirror real-life events without intentional reference. They pointed out that the song Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy, featuring Babyface Ray, which prosecutors allege brags about the incident, was actually recorded 7 months prior to Lil Pab's passing. Studio records confirmed the track was laid down in January 2022, well before the incident occurred. In an effort to portray Durk in a more positive light, the defense also presented a video of him discussing financial responsibility ahead of his album release, where he advised fans to stay humble with their money, saying, "If you can't afford 10 Maybachs, don't buy one."
You came with a plan to do like the future one now. You do a crib, you did everything waited. Beat. Ain't doing nothing small. I went this Saturday, you gonna pay? You're broke. I said all this shit. I had one car. It's not that I can't get it. I'm not thinking back. You pay back 10, pay back, no back.
A viral comment online questioned whether Durk's team releasing his most motivational and softer moments was a strategic move to frame him in a positive light for the judge, suggesting they were trying to highlight his influence as ultimately uplifting. Fans echoed this sentiment, with one correcting DJ Academic's tweet that read, "We're praying for Durk." By the way, he sent me word he will have Album of the Year. Meanwhile, an insider hinted that not only is Durk's album on the way, but that something even bigger is unfolding behind the scenes, simply adding, "All I can say is free Durk." A lawyer who reviewed the case even suggested that Durk could have an upcoming release date.
So it all depends on the hunger of the U.S. attorney and the AUSA that's involved. And if they want this individual badly enough, they'll make very attractive deals for these individuals. What does a very attractive deal look like? I think they go for the lowest hanging fruit. Whoever, didn't actually die, maybe someone that was involved that didn't actually, or someone that, but it didn't hit, they're going to have forensics. Yeah. So they'll take whoever is the least culpable, and I think that they'll approach him and make a deal with him, that'll be the most attractive. And if that guy doesn't make a deal, they'll move on to the next guy. So usually that's what happens, right? You go for the lowest hanging fruit first, the guy that you think will flip, the guy that didn't really have that much involvement. And I think what also is interesting with the indictment is it wasn't just money. They're like, oh, it could have been money or it could have been career advancement.
According to the lawyer's official statement, there's still uncertainty surrounding the strength of the case against Durk. "I'm hesitant to say they have a slam dunk case on Durk Banks," the lawyer noted, adding that prosecutors still have a long way to go in proving the conspiracy charges against him.
When it comes to Durk Banks, so far I've seen one text that says don't have them associate my name with any kind of flights that they're taking. Certainly that's not a good text, but is that the only text? Because that doesn't, that in itself doesn't stand on its own. Certainly it's circumstantial. But like I said, we have to wait and see what other evidence they have. If they have a snitch, if they have videotapes or audio tapes of him saying something, I think that's a lot different than, hey, just make sure you don't associate my name with these guys. So I'm hesitant to say that they have, a slam dunk case on Durk Banks.
Recognizing that Durk may have a strong chance at release, the feds took a more aggressive approach by broadening their investigation to include other crimes in the Chicago area. This led to a massive compilation of evidence, over 230 gigabytes, of digital files including audio and video recordings, along with 20,000 pages of reports. Not only are they introducing materials from multiple new cases, but much of the evidence gathered from Jam's wire has also been submitted to the court. A recent update revealed that federal agents believe Durk financed hits on two individuals: Stefan Mack, who was allegedly involved in the death of Durk's brother D-Thang, and Jam's baby mother, who was killed after Durk supposedly found out. Jam had informed on him. Authorities viewed Jam as the central figure in connecting Durk to all three crimes. During an Instagram live session, Durk reportedly realized Jam was wearing a wire when Jam was seen clutching the top of his jacket and whispering into it, further fueling the Fed's suspicions.
I ain't gonna lie. My whole dream changed. I ain't gonna lie. Feeling like back in the day. Oh, fuck. Oh, dang. Look like that. He took out.
Check on your man. Know what you got?
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, when I was growing up, I was having a day architect. I'm having a day. School's out now.
All that whooping on the net, got your man. Let's go.
This development suggests that authorities are attempting to pin multiple murders on Durk in an effort to tie him directly to Stefan Mack's death. As part of their argument, they presented an Instagram story Durk posted shortly after Stefan's passing, which read, "For D-Thang," implying possible retaliation. They also highlighted another Instagram story from the very next day, showing Durk laughing, using it to paint a narrative that connects him emotionally and potentially criminally to the incident.
What? Somebody else said slap con. What is it? Slap con.
However, many find it hard to believe that Jam was secretly informing on Durk, especially considering that just a year prior, Durk had reportedly given him $50,000. The gesture suggested a level of trust and loyalty between them, making the allegations of Jam cooperating with authorities all the more shocking and difficult to accept.
What's name? Steady crying, huh? He's steady crying. Feed him. Big mama,
See that?
feed
My
him.
baby. That's really how y'all hold y'all babies. I gotta hold my money like this. It's too much. Crazy though. I'm sitting up there doing all this. Sleep this and internet games and all this. I'm some money to do something. Like, we ready, bro. I can do it. Whatever it is I want to go out and do it. Not what I want to do what I want. Y'all can do that, bro. Bro got out what? You know that
Haven't you did all?
the year I did it now?
Yeah.
They let it be.
12.
That boy popped out 12 years.
So much money. We really didn't get in order to just pick out lanes. Man, boy.
However, months before his arrest, Durk had already sensed something was off with Jam. In a previous interview, Durk revealed that he could tell if anyone around him was informing within just a few minutes of conversation, hinting that he had noticed unusual behavior from Jam long before the arrest.
Conversation. I see shit from a mile away. I don't think people realize that. I can have a conversation with you for 5 seconds with you and know your part.
Durk elaborated further, explaining that once he suspected Jam, he tightened up security and stopped allowing anyone to visit his friends' houses. It was clear from the interview that Durk knew things were heading in a dangerous direction, and he seemed to recognize the gravity of the situation even then.